Hey guys, it's Drac, and this is my Air Zone triple shot or lantern quad shot or whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to be making it really, really powerful. This is a popular mod that a lot of people have done, and I enjoy it, and I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do it. First off, all the screws are silver and Phillips head. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. There are different sizes of screws for different places. There are these two medium-sized screws right here and here, and they go in the handle in the two black screw holes. Now, then there's two unique sized in the shotgun foregrip, and they're the longest screws in here. They're this length. They've got a greater distance between their weaves. Anyway, once you take those off, it butterflies in half and pulls off just like that. There's nothing else in here. Then there is one small hidden screw. It's the smallest screw in here. It's that size, and it goes right there. It's hidden under the shotgun mechanism, so take that out before you try and pry it apart. Everything else is the same size. It's this screw. Then you come in with a flathead or knife or however you like to do it, and you butterfly apart the body. Don't take out the screws in the stock unless you intend to take out the stock, because the stock is removable. As you can see, once you take off this half, there's nothing in this half. You can just remove the stock as easily as that. It's a pretty flimsy stock. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. The trigger is a simple mechanism. It's got a pretty weak trigger return spring. And then this is the plunger system and the turret, which rotates. It's a simple rotation with the return springs for both being right there, which pulls the foregrip forward after you prime it. It's a huge plunger tube, and I look forward to adding some springs. I'll tell you what those are when I do it. But right now I'm going to break out the internals and show you what I do to them. Alright, so this is the main turret for the quad shot, and once you take out the four Phillips head screws, they're the same size screw as the body screws, that size, and it just falls right into two pieces. Now there are these white discs, but they come out with a piece that you're going to really just remove entirely, this entire disc that holds all the darts. Set that aside, and what I'm going to do is take four 9-inch CPVC barrels that have been rounded like this so that the streamlines will fit into them pretty easily. And it's a really good barrel fit for a Springer gun. I'm going to come in and Dremel out holes of that outer diameter so that this will fit snugly in both the front and back. I've got to enlarge these holes so that it'll be rear loading, which will be really useful for the shotgun. Alright, so I'm halfway done with my quad shot mod, and the first thing you got to do is come into these and drill out the posts so that you get a really good fit. You can tell that that's pretty tight where my CPVC fits into there, and that's the kind of barrel fit you're looking for in there. I have yet to come in and enlarge these holes for rear loading, but that's the next thing I'm going to do. Okay, so here's my turret assembly, and as you can tell, before I put it back together, I put my slide back on after I drilled out barrel fits that are really snug, and then I came up to the front and I put a 1/2-inch PVC coupler wrapped in E-tape to evenly space the barrels. I sanded out the insides of the barrels to make it easier for it to exit and enter, and made it rear loading by widening my holes. After I did that, I came in and I epoxied the holes into place, and then I covered that epoxy with hot glue so that this is a really permanent fit. And now when I slide this over, my barrel assembly is basically finished. This is done. The only thing I have left to do is come into my plunger, and I'm going to remove this piece here because it supposedly gets a better seal. I'm going to take it, remove this piece, and put it over so that it gets a seal like that, which will be a better seal on this on the turrets. And then I'm going to come in and do a spring addition of some sort, and that ought to be just about it. I have one more thing to do to the catch, and I'll show you that in a second. So this is the final segment before I put it back together. I went in and silicone greased everything in my plunger tube, and I put in a Raider spring. I left the stock spring in, and then I put in a spring from the front part of that Predator paintball gun thing. Then up here I greased the rotating mech. That's the finished new seal, and then the internals have been put back into place exactly how they were before, except in here I have reinforced the catch with some epoxy putty, so it's a lot stronger. I'm going to put it back together now and show you what I'm done. Also, I added orange electrical tape to the entirety of the barrels because I think it looks cooler this way. Alright, so this is my finished Quadshot. I'm calling it a Doomwhisperer. It's got my enamel detailing on there, and it's got my fangs and my vampire signature. I know it's just a Quadshot, but the fun thing about being a modder is you can call your things whatever you want. It has rear loading, which works really well. I've rear loaded a streamline, and when I prime, it fires. What I found really interesting is that it'll also fire darts that I muzzle load that aren't streamlines really well. All of these darts, Busby suction darts, Nerf suction darts, and Screamer darts, all get just incredible ranges. This is going to be one of my zombie primaries. Also, if I'm running around and I get a jam in the muzzle loading, I carry around my enamel paintbrush, and it's just the right length to muzzle load darts and still get that incredible range. Now, the orange duct tape is just to establish it is clearly not a weapon since I'm using it for HVZ. And I left the original barrel covers on, which is something a lot of people don't do, but I think it adds stability. The hot glue that I use is glow-in-the-dark hot glue, which doesn't sound that interesting, but when I kill lights, you can see, hopefully, that it actually looks really cool, and I put it in the front as well. So that is my Doomwhisperer, and thanks for watching.